name is Joe. They call me Chef Joe. Today we're going to put together ravioli. I'm going to share with you the inside and the dough and the assembly. To start out, we use semolina flour and water, and that's all you need for the dough. Semolina flour, we use 2 cups. The water, we use 1. And we will add the water to the semolina as it mixes. You don't want to run it too high. You're kneading dough. You don't want the mixture to be too stiff, yet you don't want it to be too loose. This is going to take a few minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes, for the dough to really get elasticy. While I'm doing that, I'm going to get some of the ingredients for the filling. We'll take our cottage cheese. We have some Parmesan cheese, ground cinnamon, ground ginger. If it's not mixing fast enough, shut your machine, scrape the sides. The dough is starting to come together now. Still has a little ways to go. Once the dough kneads to the point where it's taking everything from the sides of the bowl, you want to make sure it looks like everything's incorporated. Then remove the dough from the mixing bowl and set it aside for about a half an hour, 45 minutes. You don't want to go any less than that. For the stuffing for the ravioli, we have 2 cups of ricotta cheese. Now, if your ricotta cheese seems a little bit watery, drain it. Overnight, use cheesecloth, wrap it up real good, nice and tight, and suspend it over a bowl. If it's not watery, use it as it is, because we also use a 1/4 cup of cream cheese to help thicken it. With that, we add 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. I add 3/4 cups of cheese, Parmesan cheese. You add to that a 1/2 cup of parsley. And finally, 2 eggs. Put this in the mixer and use your flat beater. I have a beater that already wipes the sides. If you don't have one, stop periodically, and then go ahead and scrape the sides. Do not make it run too quick, too fast. In the meantime, Take a look at the dough. It's been about 30 minutes now. We still have a little time to go. We want to go at least 45. And that'll give the filling a chance to set. The filling is nice and mixed, so you can shut your machine off and sit for a few minutes before we start rolling out the dough. The dough is ready. We're going to start out thick with our pasta maker, and we're going to go slow. We don't want to go too fast because we'll rip it apart. So, as it comes out, you'll hold it, fold it, and don't worry about being too rough with it, because you're going to end up putting it through the pasta maker a number of times. Make sure it's nice and floured. I don't know. Now, all pasta makers, the numbers seem to be different for the thicknesses. Some go up in number, some go down in number. So what I can say is, go from the next to the thinnest. It's going to look pretty rough coming out first few times, as you see. You'll continue to add flour to it because you want it to get sort of dry. Once you have the dough on your cutting board or pastry board, whichever you have, you want to cut the dough so that way your edge is straight. And then what we'll do is simply this. I put the filling inside this pastry gun, and you can do a couple of ways, depending on the shape that you want. You can either put dabs next to each other, or you can go across, or just right down the line in dabs. We'll go ahead and just go straight across. There we go. We will fold over. Make sure air is out. Then you take your sealing knife and you cut and seal at the same time. Make sure everything is sealed correctly. You don't want them opening up in the water. Hello again, we're back. I've made a few ravioli for you, and I've made rectangular and square. They're easy to make. Don't be nervous when you're doing it. What I want to do now is go ahead and boil some and show you how they'll stay together. Now we're going to go ahead and boil the ravioli. Don't let the water get too active. You want a slow simmer. Place them gently in the water. And watch them boil. I don't want a vigorous boil because then, being that the fresh dough, I don't want to break it apart. The ravioli are cooked. As you see, it's a beautiful dish, and I think you'll like it. Thank you for coming by. Eat well.